Imagine walking into a dealership on March 2027 and seeing the same bike you looked at today, wearing a sticker $2,000 higher. That's not a scare tactic. That's the current trajectory. These 7 machines are the ones smart buyers are locking in first, and the final pick genuinely surprised me. Number 7, Royal Enfield Classic 350, $4,599. That's the price. And in 2026, that number almost feels impossible. The average new middleweight motorcycle now costs somewhere between $8,000 and $15,000. Yet Royal Enfield is still offering a brand new fuel-injected retro-styled motorcycle with a 349cc single-cylinder engine for less than many riders spend on a used bike with an uncertain history. So why is it so affordable? The answer is simple. Royal Enfield builds these motorcycles in India at massive scale. The company's entire strategy is built around attracting new riders with outstanding value before the competition can respond. But that pricing advantage may not last forever. Royal Enfield has already increased prices across several models this year, and the Classic 350 is arguably the motorcycle most exposed to future price increases because affordability is such a huge part of its identity. If another adjustment comes, this is likely to be one of the first price tags to change. So what do you actually get for your money? A 20-horsepower single-cylinder engine capable of around 70 miles an hour. On paper, those numbers don't sound exciting. Out on the road, though, the experience is completely different. The Classic 350 turns an ordinary commute into something you actually look forward to. It idles with the unmistakable rhythm of an old British single. It delivers outstanding fuel economy, and it attracts more compliments at gas stations than motorcycles costing several times as much. Talk to almost any owner, and you'll hear the same story. Buy a Classic 350, and you'll never be a stranger at bike nights again. Of course, there are compromises. Highway riding is the biggest one. Above 65 miles an hour, the engine is working hard. Passing slower traffic requires patience and planning. If your riding involves long interstate journeys, this probably isn't the motorcycle for you. Compare it with a used Honda Rebel 300 at roughly the same price, and the decision becomes interesting. The Rebel is an excellent motorcycle, reliable, easy to ride, and highly practical. But the Classic 350 offers something that's much harder to measure: character. And that's something you simply can't add with aftermarket parts. That's why it earns a place on this list. It's one of the last truly affordable, full-size retro motorcycles on the American market. And if prices continue moving upward, that opportunity may not be around much longer now. If the Classic 350 wins buyers over with charm, the next motorcycle wins with something even harder to ignore: pure value. And this year, that value became even stronger. Number 6, Honda CB300R. Here's a fact that surprised me. While nearly every manufacturer raised prices for 2026, Honda reduced the price by $650. It now starts at just $4,499, making it one of the least expensive new street motorcycles available in America. At a time when tariffs pushed prices higher across much of the industry, Honda chose to absorb those costs on several models to protect its market share. That wasn't generosity, it was a business strategy. And strategies like this rarely last forever. The motorcycle itself deserves far more attention than it gets. Power comes from a 286 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine producing around 30 horsepower. It's mounted in a chassis weighing less than 320 pounds, fully fueled. On the road, that combination feels fantastic. The CB300R changes direction almost effortlessly. It slips through traffic with ease. And it never feels intimidating. New riders gain confidence quickly. Experienced riders remember why they fell in love with motorcycles in the first place. Here's something many reviewers overlook. The CB300R shares Honda's Neo Sports Cafe styling with the larger CB1000R. So you're getting flagship-inspired design at an entry-level price. Park it next to a KTM 390 Duke, which costs well over $1,000 more. And the Honda stands its ground in almost every category, except outright performance. The KTM is undeniably quicker, but the Honda has earned a reputation for reliability that's difficult to match. It's the motorcycle you expect to start every single morning, year after year, without drama. Of course, there are compromises. Wind protection is practically non-existent, and the thin factory seat reminds you of that after a couple of hours. This is a motorcycle designed for city streets and winding back roads, not long-distance touring. Trying to use it as one will only lead to disappointment. So, would I buy one? If I were starting my riding journey today, absolutely, without hesitation. And that's exactly why smart buyers are paying attention now. A significant price reduction during a period when the rest of the industry is raising prices doesn't happen very often, when Honda's strategy of absorbing those extra costs comes to an end. This price is unlikely to stay where it is. If you're finding this breakdown useful so far, don't forget to hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel. Because the next motorcycle on this list is the one almost nobody is talking about. And sometimes, the biggest opportunity is hiding in plain sight. Number 5. Kawasaki KLX 230 Sherpa S. Picture this. Gas climbs to $5 a gallon, your friend's adventure bike costs $20,000, and you're the rider who spent just $5,699 on a Kawasaki that can go almost everywhere his bike can. Just a little slower? And with a much bigger smile, that's the KLX 230 Sherpa S, a brand new model for 2026. And in many ways, it's Kawasaki quietly acknowledging that many riders are no longer willing to pay premium prices. The formula is refreshingly simple. Start with the proven KLX 230 platform, a dependable air-cooled 233 cubic centimeters single-cylinder engine. Add rugged adventure-inspired styling, a rear cargo rack, hand guards, and package it as an approachable motorcycle that can handle almost anything. The bike is so lightweight that most riders can pick it up by themselves after a tip over. And chances are, you will tip it over, because this motorcycle encourages you to explore trails you probably wouldn't attempt on a larger adventure bike. That's exactly what it was built for. The riding community noticed almost immediately. Online forums are already filled with riders comparing it to Honda's CRF 300L. And to be fair, the Honda is still the stronger choice if your priority is serious off-road performance. There's no argument there. But the Kawasaki costs less, and for riders who want roughly 80% of the trail capability while still commuting during the week, the value equation strongly favors the Sherpa S. At least, that's how I see it. Now here's why it belongs on this list. The original KLX 230, $4,599 back in 2020. Today, that price has already climbed to $4,999. Small displacement motorcycles are currently one of the fastest growing segments in America. Rising demand combined with higher import costs generally pushes prices in only one direction: up. That means the KLX 230 Sherpa S is likely to be as affordable today as it will ever be. Of course, it has one obvious limitation: highway riding. Around 65 miles an hour is where this motorcycle feels most comfortable. Push beyond that for long periods, especially on an interstate, and it quickly reaches its limits. Buy it for back roads, trails, and everyday adventures, not cross-country freeway travel. And you'll understand exactly why so many riders are excited about it. If you've had the chance to ride one of Kawasaki's smaller dual-sport motorcycles, let us know in the comments, because I have a feeling this entire category is only getting started. Number 4. CFMoto 675 NK. For years, a middleweight naked motorcycle with a triple-cylinder engine meant one thing: paying Triumph prices. Then CFMoto introduced the 675 NK, a sharp, modern naked bike powered by a 675cc inline 3, and priced it at just $7,499. Suddenly, the entire segment had a new problem: Let's be honest about what's happening here. The obvious comparison is Triumph's Trident 660. That motorcycle typically costs well over $8,500 before fees, and Triumph has already increased prices this year as tariffs pushed costs higher. Meanwhile, the CFMoto undercuts it by well over $1,000 while delivering the same addictive qualities that make triple-cylinder engines so popular. The distinctive growl, the strong mid-range pull, and the soundtrack that makes you take the long way home. Is the Triumph more refined? Yes. But is it more than $1,000 more refined? That's the question more and more buyers are asking, and increasingly, the answer is no. Here's where many people make a mistake. They hear the words Chinese brand and stop listening. Meanwhile, CFMoto has spent years working alongside KTM on engine development. Its dealer network across America continues to expand, and owner reports on reliability and build quality have become increasingly positive. The writers who dismissed the brand back in 2023 are often the same riders scheduling test rides in 2026. Of course, there are still legitimate concerns. The biggest isn't the motorcycle itself, it's the ownership ecosystem. Long-term resale value is still largely unknown, and if you don't live near a dealership, parts availability and service can sometimes require extra patience. That's a real consideration, especially if you trade motorcycles every couple of years. If you tend to keep your bikes for the long haul, it's much less of an issue. So why does the 675 NK earn a place on this list? Because CFMoto's entire strategy in the American market is built around aggressive pricing. As an imported motorcycle, it's heavily exposed to rising tariff costs. Right now, the company appears willing to absorb much of that expense while expanding its market share. But companies don't absorb extra costs forever. They do it to establish themselves. And once they've succeeded, prices usually follow. That makes today's pricing feel less like a permanent discount and more like an introductory offer with an expiration date nobody has announced yet. Personally, this may be the best motorcycle per dollar value on the entire list, full stop. Number 3. Royal Enfield Classic 650. Some motorcycles solve a problem you didn't even realize you had. For years, riders loved the timeless styling of the Classic 350, but wished it had enough power for effortless highway riding. The usual answer was simple: buy a Triumph Bonneville and spend nearly twice as much. The Classic 650 changes that conversation. It takes Royal Enfield's proven 648cc parallel twin, the same engine that turned the INT 650 into a cult favorite, and wraps it in authentic post-war inspired styling, all for around $7,499. That engine is the real story. It produces around 47 horsepower. On paper, that doesn't sound especially impressive, but out on the highway, it's a completely different experience. Cruising comfortably at 75 miles an hour feels effortless. There's still enough power left for confident passing, and it's the kind of engine that makes a 400-mile riding day feel surprisingly relaxed. Even better, it has earned one of the strongest reliability reputations of any modern parallel twin on the market. Spend a few minutes browsing owner forums and you'll find countless INT 650 owners reporting 30,000, 40,000, or even more trouble-free miles. The Classic 650 benefits from that very same engine. Now compare it with the Triumph Bonneville T100. After recent tariff-related price increases, the Triumph now sits well above $11,000. The Royal Enfield delivers much of the same experience for roughly 2/3 of the price. Yes, the Triumph offers a little more power. Yes, the finishes are slightly more premium. But are those improvements really worth another $4,000? That's the question buyers are asking. And judging by the growing list of dealership pre-orders, many have already made up their minds. Of course, there are compromises. Weight is the biggest one. At well over 500 pounds fully fueled, the Classic 650 is a substantial motorcycle. You'll notice that weight during slow-speed maneuvers, tight parking lots, and quick direction changes. This isn't a lightweight canyon carver. It's a relaxed cruiser at heart, and that's exactly what it was designed to be. Now here's the investment angle. The Classic 650 is an all-new model launching into a market already affected by rising tariffs. Historically, launch pricing on a highly anticipated motorcycle is often the lowest price buyers will ever see. Royal Enfield has already increased prices across several models this year. If that trend continues, it's not difficult to see where this one is headed. Sometimes the smartest purchase isn't waiting for a better deal. It's recognizing that today's price may already be the best deal you're going to get. Number 2. Ducati Monster Plus. Would you believe a Ducati belongs on a smart money list? Stay with me. Because the 2026 Ducati Monster Plus is a genuinely unusual case. Ducati has given the Monster a new 890 cubic centimeters V-twin engine that's 13 pounds lighter than its predecessor. It produces around 110 horsepower. The motorcycle itself weighs just 386 pounds. Then Ducati adds a full electronics package, Brembo brakes, cornering ABS, multiple ride modes, traction control. Everything you'd expect from a premium European naked bike. And the starting price comes in at $13,995. Now let's look at the bigger picture. Comparable European naked motorcycles have become significantly more expensive. BMW's F900R, for example, starts at $10,495 before adding a destination charge of roughly $1,000. Add the popular option packages and the final price climbs quickly. Meanwhile, European manufacturers continue dealing with the impact of higher import costs. That makes Ducati's decision to launch an all-new monster generation for under $14,000 particularly interesting. Historically, Ducati has often increased prices after the first year of a new model. Longtime Ducati owners have seen that pattern before, so what does your money actually buy? A naked motorcycle that's light enough to feel like a middleweight, yet powerful enough to deliver genuine super bike-inspired performance. Even more importantly, the modern Monster is dramatically easier to live with than older Ducatis. Owners consistently describe it as the first Ducati they would happily ride every single day. Of course, there are still realities to consider. Owning a Ducati isn't inexpensive. Service intervals have improved considerably over the years. But premium tires, replacement parts, insurance, and maintenance still cost more than they do on many Japanese motorcycles. And rising import costs have only increased those ownership expenses. If you're considering one, budget for the total cost of ownership, not just the purchase price. Personally, if your heart has always wanted an Italian motorcycle, this may be one of the rare moments when your head can agree with that decision too. But now I want to hear from you. Would you actually ride a Ducati every day? Let me know in the comments below. Number 1. BMW F900R. $10,495 for a brand new BMW used to sound like a fantasy. Technically, you'll also pay a $1,095 destination charge. But here's the part many people overlook. Every 2026 BMW includes its 600-mile break-in service at no additional cost. You also get a 3-year, 36,000-mile factory warranty. When you compare that with many Japanese competitors that charge separately for the first service and often provide shorter warranty coverage, the total cost of ownership starts looking much more attractive than the sticker price alone suggests. That's the part many buyers never calculate. The F900R is also one of the most underrated motorcycles in BMW's lineup. Power comes from an 895 cubic centimeters parallel twin, producing around 99 horsepower. In the real world, that translates into effortless 2-up touring, comfortable highway cruising, and more than enough performance for spirited weekend rides. Torque is available throughout the rev range, so you're rarely searching for the right gear. In many ways, this is the BMW for riders who never imagined owning a BMW. Now let's talk about the investment angle. BMW increased prices across much of its lineup this year as import costs continued to rise. Many of the brand's premium motorcycles now climb well beyond $35,000. The F900R remains one of the most affordable entry points into BMW ownership. And historically, entry-level premium models are often the first to see price adjustments as manufacturers move further upmarket. Compare it with Yamaha's MT-09. The Yamaha is arguably the sharper and more exciting sport motorcycle. It also costs a little less. But the BMW answers with a longer warranty, complimentary first service, and the strong resale value that has become one of the brand's biggest advantages. Of course, there is one important warning. BMW's options list, the standard motorcycle, is already well equipped, but optional packages can add anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 in a hurry. Many dealerships stock heavily optioned examples, making it surprisingly easy for a $10,000 motorcycle to become a $14,000 purchase before you even sign the paperwork. Walk into the dealership knowing exactly which features you actually need. Your wallet will thank you. So, would I choose the BMW F900R over the Yamaha MT-09? If I wanted a motorcycle to keep for many years, yes. If I wanted the biggest smile for every dollar spent, I'd still choose the Yamaha, and that's the honest answer. So here's the verdict. The 25% tariff has already reshaped this market, and every motorcycle on this list feels like it's priced before the full impact has truly arrived. If I had to spend my own money on just one, I'd choose the Royal Enfield Classic 650. It's a brand new model. It uses a proven engine, and its launch pricing is unlikely to survive the year unchanged. Now it's your turn. Which one of these 7 motorcycles would you buy before the prices climb? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy honest, data-driven motorcycle breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe so you catch the next one before the market catches up.